Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's John, Bigfoot Lacrosse, hanging out in the Bigfoot Lounge, which is really just two comfortable chairs here at the store.
Without lumbar support.
Without lumbar support, but Connor's been nice enough to sit down with us anyway. Connor Martin doesn't need much of an introduction around in these parts. Former Lake Ridge Pacer, so we know Connor very well, but Connor's blowing up on the national scene, so we're lucky enough to have you stop by in your travels and sit down and talk with us for a little bit. But I had a chance to catch up with you at your last video shoot, and I was watching that. I was thinking to myself, what's been going through this kid's mind? 10 months ago, January 2010, you're sitting at Chapman, looking forward to your senior year, thinking, okay, another chance for a championship, maybe thinking graduation, job after that. Then all of a sudden, the NCAA All-Star Game comes out of nowhere, and the draft. How the All-Star Game? Where does that come about?
Ask and you will receive. Totally. I basically asked. I go, I have a relationship with Warrior. I had an internship with them. That's why all this kind of happened. And I called up Adam Werder, the director of marketing. We were talking. And I'm like, hey, there's a game June 6th, and I want to play in it. And he's like, okay, literally he goes, I'll call Dave Gross, the commissioner of the MLL. Yeah. I'll call him up right now, and I'll let you know. He called him up, and within 5 minutes, he called me back. He goes, yeah, they'd love to have you. And I was like,
really?
He goes, yeah, they can't fly you out, though, so you're going to have to fly yourself. I'm like, no, I'll fly out. For Chase the Dream. And so I was the only club guy there with all these D1 All-Americans. There's another D3 or D2 kid. And how
was the reaction? What was the reception?
And people were cool to me.
Yeah.
I was wearing my Patrick Swayze. Am I wearing that right now? Yes. I was wearing this shirt. Patrick.
Nice.
I was wearing Patrick to the thing, and everyone. So I think that immediately set the tone that hey, I'm having a great time, and I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
And Ken Clausen was there, who's actually my teammate now, and he's a buddy. But I was like, whoa, Kenny and Ned Karate, and I was on Max Quinzani's line, and they're all super nice to me, and I just kind of went with the attitude just no expectations, just can't believe I'm playing Team USA. The game went all right. I got a goal in the last 40 seconds of my playing time, and I was just like, oh my god. It's like a little quick stick, but that was, my first pro experience, so I was pretty timid, but it was fun. Did
you leave that with any expectation that you'd be drafted?
I was worried because I didn't really do much in the game to say, hey, I'm the guy.
Right.
It's like I was just trying to prove hey, I can hang.
We had a lot to overcome, not only coming out of club, but you're a kid from Oregon.
Yeah.
So there was a lot
going against
you from the start.
Yeah, exactly. It was awesome. So I go into the draft room. I'm just wearing a suit. I got a sweet polka dot tie though, still keeping it.
Little flavor, yeah.
And I'm sitting down with some guys, and all the Dookie kids go first, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be the only one who doesn't get drafted, who's sitting in this Yale, the gymnasium of Yale. At one point in the pillar, the MLL logo fell off Dave Gross's. what are those things called?
Podium.
Yeah. Podium. Fell off his podium. And we were just this is welcome to MLL.
Pro. Yeah, right.
Not to hate on it, but it was a little funny. And I was like, I'm not gonna get drafted, and there's stuff falling off the podium.
Right.
It was awesome. I got picked in the 7th round, and it was I don't think I've ever had that big of a relief in my life.
Yeah.
My mom and my dad were there. They're and I'm just sitting there. I'm just I'm not gonna get picked. And then Alex Smith, Colorado State head coach.
Okay.
He helps out the Outlaws, and he was at the draft. And I got a nod, and I was looking back, I realized they only draft kids from their hometowns because they can't pay for people.
Sure.
Unless you're the top 6 picks, because you're going to be playing the next weekend and starting and hopefully selling tickets. You're going if you're from Massachusetts, you're playing for Boston. All along kids went, and so I'm looking at Denver. I'm like, oh, they're not gonna that's it. That's as close to home as anywhere. I'm like, that's the only place I'll go. And I look back, and Alex Smith in the 6th round gave me a nod, and I'm like, okay. And 6th round went by. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't get drafted. I drafted someone better, a Navy kid. And then I got the call, and I was just it was crazy relief. I blacked out.
And they take you out to the team after that, or do they say, hey, next week practice is at 6 o'clock Friday?
For
you better be
10
here.
For Clausen and Sean Delaney and stuff.
Hey, get out there and.
But I'm like, so what should I do, Coach? He goes, well, come out on July 4th. We'll all be in town, and you should just probably move out then if you want to make, if you want to be a part of it. I'm like, all right. So I moved out. I just was got my car, drove out late June, and just started working out with their coach. And literally I moved out there to try out on July 3rd because I had one practice attackman was out. I got to play the whole practice, and I was like, oh, this is my tryout. Like, this is it. Like, this is all you get, Con. And I just was loose, having fun. I scored a couple goals, did a couple good dodges, and proved to them, like, they're like, okay, you're probably going to play in the July 24th game. And I was like, okay, that's why I moved out here.
Not bad.
One practice. I was like, oh my god, my summer. And then I had my first game, went well, and then I got to play in another one. It was fun.
Well, I knew you'd been picked, and we were wondering how things were going. And then I emailed you, congratulate you on the draft and stuff, and you got back and like, hey, I'm just excited. I hope I get a jersey.
Yeah.
And I turn on the game, and in Boston, you're starting, and you hang 3 points. You hang a hat trick in your first game. That's pretty amazing.
I'm just hoping to score a fourth goal now, because I'm like, God, like that was fun. Yeah, it was wild. The craziest thing probably was, I mean, after the game, I like had to it was the ultimate relief. Like, oh, like I took advantage of my opportunity, and it was so nice to just feel like, okay, I did all I could do. But the craziest thing is the second half, after every goal, they played my song.
I heard that. They
played the video. We made a video for the Outlaws. So I was in my Outlaws jersey doing jump kicks with a couple other guys around Mile High, and they were all excited. And they played that at halftime. I'm like, oh, thank God I've scored at least, so they don't think I'm some just schmuck who wasn't get stripped all half and wow, this guy's in video, he sucks. And then after every goal, it was obnoxious. We scored a lot of goals in the second half. We scored 10, and they would play the song. And after one of my goals, they played the song. I'm like, they're playing my song right now, in Mile High Stadium. Yeah. After I score a goal, I'm like, and I'm just like, what is going on? There's only 8,000 people in the crowd, and it seemed pretty empty, but it was the most fun I've had in a long time.
Yeah, we're very happy.
Hope I can do it.
That was very cool.
Appreciate it.
Beyond lacrosse, so this opened up some other doors for you. You got to go to Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. Tell us about that, the group that puts that on.
Absolutely.
And the people you went with and who runs that whole thing, and what did that experience do to you?
Cool. So Brett Hughes is a guy who, with another man named Brad Corrigan, who actually played in Dispatch, big band from Boston. And they started this thing, organization called Lacrosse the Nations. And really, they want to expand it, but right now they have a kind of a foothold in Nicaragua and this dump in La Chueca. And I'd actually been there. It's a trash dump where people live and work. It's not oh, they choose to live there. It's because it's where they work. But it is some of the most horrendous living conditions, and it's just when the smoke is burning and the trash, they're out working, it just looks apocalyptic almost. You're like, I can't believe people live here. But I had been there 3 years earlier with my family. Okay. And so I'd done a video. I have one little video. It's on my little YouTube page. It's hidden in there somewhere. But about the place called La Chueca, and I came back, just totally rocked me, just slapped me in the face, just wake up, Con kind of.
How long were you down there?
Just a week the first time, and then I'm watching the NCAAs, and Brett Hughes comes on the TV, and he's talking about this place. I'm like, what the heck? I've been there. Yeah. And so I got in touch with them, and we talked for about a year, and he's we're doing a trip, and I was like, all right, I'm buying my ticket. I was the first person to buy my ticket, and we're going. Probably the best highlight of the trip was we had a lacrosse clinic outside. We took 50 kids outside the dump, brought them to a nice grass field outside Managua, had a lacrosse clinic, and it was just the most fun thing ever. And they're playing. Yeah. It's terrible. It's obviously they don't know exactly what's going on, but it's actually their PE. Their PE after school. This is what Lacrosse Nation is really doing. Other than the relationship and we're building with all the people and all the opportunity for kids, just letting kids be kids and not be in a horrible place. It's their PE program after school. Wow. So if they don't go to school, they can't play in PE after school. Some of them are scoring goals. We taught them top cheddar. And they go top chetty because of course they don't know what's going. They don't know what the hell that means. But I see some. So I believe in it. I'm actually seeing them tomorrow in Denver. Right. And have I'm going to the board meeting or something. They just want a perspective on it. But it's cool stuff. It's really exciting. It's just a good way to give back, and it's something I have experienced doing traveling. So I'm oh, this is perfect.
We can't talk to Connor Martin without bringing up Con Brochill. When did you guys come up with this, and when was he born? And was this something your brother and you did, Sam and you did?
Yeah, or? It's my brother Sam and I. So I had an internship with Warrior. Okay. And I was kind of doing stuff for you guys in the Northwest, doing events, and they're like, make some videos with it. That's kind of why I got the gig. Yeah. And so I made a first video introing what I'm doing this summer. I'm looking for flow and whatever. It's stupid. I'm giving you a head if you have curly locks. And And I had, like, the first video, I called myself El Gato, by the way. And, like, I didn't know what Conbro Chill was. I'm like, yeah, you can get my attention. You know, and I was just kind of being a douche, you know, just, like, talking. And obviously I talk like that a little, but it was a little more exaggerated. Right. And we turned that video. They love it. It's fun. Like, wow, that's so exciting. We need another one. And then a kid in college gave me a nickname. His brother's name was Connor, so he would give me all his twin brothers' nicknames, and he'd call me Conbro Chill, and I was like, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Now it's just like I'm annoyed of it almost, but I'm like, okay. Everyone on my team, you should hear the sideline when I play for the Outlaws. Conbro off, everything's Conbro this, Conbro that. And I'm like, you guys are. This is actually okay. Yeah,
it's Conbro serious. Taking over Connor. So
I guess
you were after. Was it after the first LXM Pro game?
Oh.
And I think you played for Chapman played.
Yeah, we played at UCSB.
And I think
before.
I caught you talking to like Quint Kessenich or something after the game. And he's like, "Hey, I got Conbro Chill," and you're like,
"Oh, Smitty Lax, so Smitty."
That's a character I play.
Yeah.
I'm not Conbro Chill.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of just accept it because I'm selling things. I'm trying to make a living, so I'm like, you can call me whatever you want.
Yeah, as long as you buy my
we're
shirt.
having a great time. I literally came up with a nickname like while we were shooting. I'm like, what's my name? You know? And I was like, oh yeah. And we Sam wanted me to be like Con Guy Cool or something terrible. And I was like, I don't know if it's that. We created the character. It got out of control. We started just spazzing out, and now it's where it is today.
Big. Well, we just caught up with you. I caught up with you 3 weeks ago. And you were nice enough to let me come in and get behind the scenes for the new the video shoot.
There's been a lot of talkage lately concerning this behavioral basics, talking about premarital dancing. And I don't know if you've noticed, but people just need to respect their dance partners a little bit about it.
I was amazed, as I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, the professionalism of the video when you guys, there's really only 4 or 5 of you there with a couple handheld cameras. And dude back there with the smoke machine and lasers, which was very cool. Got to talk to your brother Sam, who does the music.
Yeah.
But wondered the crew behind it, who everybody sees in the videos. What's everyone's part? Sam with the music. There's choreography.
So this was the first time we've ever done a project like this, because probably the most extensive project before this was my "Come to My Party" video. And I did that kind of by myself. I would drag people with me, but it was for class. It was literally for a class project. I was like, this is awesome. Best class project ever. Like, literally, I've been living off Come to My Party, like, since then. So I didn't have any help. And this time, we're like, all right, we've started, you'll see soon, I'll be telling everyone about it, but we've started a creative collective, like of Portland guys.
Okay.
And we're called that. The guys who were there helping on the video, we're calling ourselves Rainbreak. It's like rainbreak.com. And we're going to be releasing a video every month, a creative video, because these guys do a lot of corporate work, and they've been really tired of like I don't want to do corporate stuff the rest of my life. We got to do something fun. So we're gonna release a video every month, and just on the site, and we're just hopefully over the years we'll gain a following, and like on the first of the month, people will tune in and be like, wow, this is, whether anything creative, doesn't have to be Conbro Chill, doesn't have to be something outrageous, it could be just something just different and fun. What comes down to it is Sam. Like, on this song in particular, like, he wrote Arena, like, straight up. Like, I felt like a little Britney Spears-ish lately, because my brother, I feel, is a musical genius, and he's got his own career, his own artist, Sam, is his own artist, So he's starting to pour in, like, a lot of his goofy side and more poppy fun with me. Come to My Party, but he was in there with me, like pointing me in directions. And so this last song, like, he wrote a song a long time ago as a joke, and I'm like, dude, that's cool, like, that sounds fun, it sounds like toxic, like, let's make something out of it. And I had this little ditty on the piano, a waltz, that I thought was hilarious, and that's the Pilgrim part.
Right.
I kind of wrote it, and I made the lyrics or whatever, so that was kind of like my baby, with him obviously all over it.
Well, those two, we were just talking, next step for you were in Denver last week for the University of Denver scrimmage. Now you're heading right back to Denver for Mammoth tryouts, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, everyone does laugh at me when I
I'm laughing because I don't think you can do it. I just think
I'm interested. Like it's a humongous curiosity, and after playing and having a couple sessions with Ryan Powell, I'm like hooked. I'm like, I want to be a part. I played my first scrimmage the other day, and it was so fun. And like I was going after Silcott. Like, it's like, go on the other team. Like, I'm just gonna go after you the whole time. And it was just fun. I was like, oh, I want this. Yeah. And who knows, it's just another challenge. I mean, I don't see why it's not a possibility just because
Absolutely.
you can't put yourself
you
down.
gotta-
But I'm prepared to to fail.
Well, it'll be a great experience, and I'm sure looking forward to it. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, man.
And we thank you very much for stopping by the home shop and
Absolutely.
spending some time with us.
My homeboys.
Connor
Sold
Martin.
me my first stick. It's your fault.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I'm responsible for unleashing this all on you. I'm sorry. If you live in town, you can come in over the holidays. All you Lake Ridge Pacers, come in and pick up your boys' shirts. We'll have them here at Bigfoot Lacrosse. Connor Martin, John, Bigfoot, we'll see you.
Love you guys.